All right, so this is going to be a somewhat quick video. The equations involved in section 14.2 are pretty long and tedious, and um, you can see them in the book. Anyways, I kind of just want to spend this time talking about the difference between a confidence interval and a prediction interval, which is the main things covered in this section. Interval. Are intervals constructed about the predicted value of y. So it's going to be surrounding it. So if you can imagine, we'll have a confidence interval, and a prediction interval will look almost identical. So um, a confidence interval is based off of let's imagine we have this line right here, and we have a value of x that is given to us in the problem, and we want to construct a confidence interval for a mean response. This is a based off the predicted value of y from this value of x, that is used to measure the accuracy of the mean response of all the individuals in the population. So it's all based off this value x and the confidence interval of what y would end up being. So as you would imagine, y hat would be the best estimate of what the average response for each value of x would be, the output of what x would be, which is based off of our sample. So the confidence interval is of the values of y. So as you would expect, as you can maybe see, a confidence interval is vertical values. So from here to here, there's our confidence interval, and centered at the y hat. Similarly, the predicted interval is doing the same thing. It's trying to predict what y hat is based off of a value of x, but it's slightly different because the confidence interval is so um, the the confidence interval is used to measure the accuracy of the mean response, of all individuals in the population for a given value of x. Um, the mean of y, that is. And the uh, the prediction interval, that was confidence interval. The prediction interval is trying to find the predicted value of y by a single predicted value of x. So it's not looking at the mean response of all individuals, it's looking at one individual's response. So as you can imagine, the confidence interval is always going to be more narrow than the prediction interval. A confidence interval is trying to predict of a mean response, of an average response, what y would be. And the predicted interval is based off of one individual response. So there's a lot more standard deviation going on. It's a lot more spread going on of uncertainty of an individual response compared to a mean response. So mean response is confidence interval. An individual response based off of one individual is for a prediction interval. So, and you'll notice that the equations, if you look in the book, are very similar. Um, it's almost an identical equation, but you have this extra 1 plus under the square root. I'll have you look at that if you want to. But what's really convenient is that all the homework problems are able to be done on StatCrunch. So I'm going to explain how you would go about using StatCrunch for this. It's pretty obvious. So you would click on the, similar to how I showed you in that StatCrunch video. You'll click on the data set. So you'll have this data set, and there'll be this little button up here. You'll click on it, and you'll open in StatCrunch. And you'll open up StatCrunch, and your data set will be in there, which is convenient, and you don't have to copy it all yourself. And what you would do is, here's StatCrunch, let's say. is you'll click on stat. You'll click on stat, a drop-down menu will come out, and you'll click on regression, and you'll choose a simple linear regression. It's not a multiple regression, which is actually the next section, 14.3, which we don't go over. So this is a simple linear regression. So you choose simple, and you'll have the option, and you'll choose what your explanatory and response variable is, and you'll choose X and Y accordingly. And then depending on what the question's asking, it'll ask something about a confidence interval, it'll ask about a prediction interval, and you'll actually be able to do the same, the stuff from section 14.1, which is testing if there's a relationship between the X and Y values. And so you can do all three things from the simple linear regression option. So if depends on what you're doing, a hypothesis test from section 14.1 on beta 1, or you'll be doing a confidence interval from section 14.2, or you'll be doing a prediction interval from 14.2. And notice that 14.2, you can choose what X value you'll want, and you'll notice that on the option. So, and you'll choose your level of significance based off of, you know, is it a 95% confidence interval? You'll put that option in there. Is it a 99%? Whatever. You'll put that in there. All the information will be given to you in the problem, and you can just do that. And you just use the output, whatever information it's asking for that step. StatCrunch should have it. It'll have a comprehensive statistics of everything that is needed for whatever it will ask from the homework. So this is just a quick video. I didn't want to take the entire time to just go over the equation for the confidence interval, for the mean response or the individual response. So anyways, if you have any questions or you want to break down the equations a little bit and do it by hand, you can call me up. But in general, you should be able to, you should be able to do everything you need to on StatCrunch, and I would highly suggest doing that. So if you, more than likely, if you have any questions on StatCrunch on a certain problem, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to go over an example with you on how to use StatCrunch on any problem that you prefer. And so just feel free to get a hold of me. This is just a quick video, and just see if there's anything else that I really need to talk about. I mean, this whole section is based off of confidence interval or prediction interval, and you can do all that on StatCrunch, which is convenient, very much so. Yeah, that's about it. So let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye.